I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. Today is day 2 of Natasha Denona Love Palette. Voila! I received this yesterday around 2 o'clock and shot a video very quickly, like 10 minutes later. I got 2 looks and I have some more thoughts I want to share with you. This is the same size as the Sunset palette that came out in the early fall around September. Unlike the Sunset palette though, this has 2 distinct colorways, pinks and purples. And I found that even though there were a lot of colors in Sunrise, they were all in the same family. You couldn't get 2 specific different looks to me. Also, what's really interesting about this palette, it is decidedly a cool palette. I mean, the purples give it away, right? But these pinks are not particularly warm. This is the only pink that, for me, runs a little bit coral, but this is a cooler pink, this is a cooler pink, and I think this is a cooler pink as well. So you have a cool palette here that doesn't look ashy. Most cool palettes have the taupey kind of undertones, which I love. I love the taupes that have kind of a lavender undertone to it, and that alone should give you a clue. There's lavender in here. Boom, boom. This has a lot of blue undertones, and yet it's really attractive. So that's new and exciting and worth noting. When you first look at this, the shimmers all look very different than each other, with the possible exception of these 2. But I find that they're actually swatching similar enough to not have all of them. This is a big pet peeve for me. I think I would prefer to have more mattes and more variety, so I could have 3 colorways in here instead of 2, or more dimension somewhere, or maybe another transition shade, something light like this but in a purple kind of tone, just something else, another color that would help expand what I can do here, because I'm kind of thinking the 2 looks I got yesterday might be the only 2 looks I can really get out of this. And I think the idea, the reason why so many companies do this is they're like, well, you can take this and this and this, and the look will change depending on if you do this or this. And that's true, because this and this are completely different. But if you take this silver out, if you put this or this, for instance, well, this doesn't go with this purple. So you're kind of limited for these 2 colors. And these just read so similar to me. I swatched all these together and I'm like, 2 less would have been better. I am very grateful though that she did give us really 2 colorways. I remember when Sunrise came out, I felt like, you know what? Where I live, a beautiful sunrise oftentimes has a little bit of blue, the sky behind all those beautiful colors, and definitely pink. And I felt she missed those opportunities. And here I feel like she gave us a little more, so points for that. She made something cool, really appealing, points for that. But again, some of these shimmers, when you swatch them, yes, the reflex is a little different, but they're just not different enough to warrant being there. They're not going to change the look depending on which one you're using, from my opinion. And also because I'm hooded. So this is very specific to us hooded gals. There's a lot of us out there though. We're really limited in where we can put those shimmers anyway, and they tend to, you know, float up here. It can be messy and difficult to work with, and I just wish a little less shimmer. So I wanted to do a 3rd look today. I sat here and really looked at these colors, and I don't think I can do a 4th look, and that's a bummer. I know there are people who are far more talented than I am. I'm waiting for Alicia Kinky Sweat to do a couple of looks because she's really good at mixing it up. But for me, this looks like it just might be a 3-look palette. Let me show you. These are the colors I'm thinking of doing. So that's Dream, Soul, and Heartbeat. And I'm hoping that this is the kind of look I can do to get out the house. You know what I mean? The other looks I did are a little special. I don't think you could go to the mall like that, or go to the office like that, or do a kid run after that. Both of those looks were just a little, I thought they were great, wonderful, lovely, but I think for your average person, not a daily look. I'm going to start with Dream, and this is a synthetic. We're going to see how that works. And this is the cream to powder formulation, which I find really difficult. Look how sheer that goes on. And I also find the cream to powders are not great with crepey lids. And I found that out in the Metropolis palette. The colors I really loved in there were the cream to powders, and it was just a disaster. And I was truly in tears. And you shouldn't open a palette and think, oh my God, I dread this palette. You know what I mean? And just keep on building. All right. I mean, maybe this is the whole thing about the cream to powders. You just have to zen out, be patient, build and build and build and build. I washed my brushes last night and I did my little trick. I did a video on this where I put aloe. This is what you do after it's all dried. You just do that or rub it against a towel, and that breaks the aloe away, and you get to keep the shape of the brush that you bought for the shape that it is. Picking up Soul. A little bit dark for that position, but we'll play. So into the crease and pull out a bit. Now I'm getting a new cluster of wrinkles here, yay me. So it's a little patchy, not a problem with this powder really, is my problem. And I just rub the brush off and now I'm blending. I think that's pretty. I think this is a look you can go to the mall with. Alright, this is what I have. I'm just laying it all down, and then we'll do some serious blending later on. I'm noticing some darkness right here. There's no fallout at all. I just didn't take my concealer all the way out here when I did my under eyes, so we'll get to that. I'm going in with Heartbeat, which is a bit of an aubergine kind of color with a smaller brush for the outer edge. And this is my first time with this shadow, and it is laying down nice. And wipe that off and just kind of shear it out or blend out that edge a little bit. Same brush, I'm going to mix the Soul with this pink to do underneath. I'm barely touching. And I have to say, if I'm looking for a daytime look, something for the office, I think I failed. But you could probably just do 2 colors. Day's not over yet. We still have some serious blending to do. Another thing I really like about this palette is they have this color, which is perfect for blending. So I don't have to get into my Laura Mercier translucent. I can just go in here with a huge blending brush. And on the brush, this looks a little bit peachy. And time to blend, 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 blend. When in doubt, blend. And I'm always in doubt. Now for me this would be about it. I would want to go into concealer and kind of fix that look, but I think I think this is something you can get to work with. I don't want to put any shimmers on. If I did, because I have the lavender right here, maybe I would put this lavender on top of it to give it a little dimension. Let's see how that looks on my hand. So here's the lavender on the hand, and put that over, and it's pretty. For me, I wouldn't do it, but I'm here for you, so let's try. This is a little bit dusty, and it would probably be better doing with your finger, but I am the queen of fat fingering, so do it with a flat. I feel like it just kind of made the whole look a little bit darker because that lavender is a bit lighter. All right, that's pretty. It gives the eyes a little bit more movement if you're walking around like this with the eyes open. It doesn't do much except for darken up that look because this lavender is much lighter. So there's that. I'm going to do a little bit more blending under the eyes, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, that's going to be it. I did a little bit of blush, I did a little bit of lips. I put some concealer right here and just used a flat brush to smooth that out. And I did a little lining on the waterline. I always, tight line, waterline, whichever. I didn't do mascara because I think that would make it look more makeup-y, but I do think maybe a little bit more blending, maybe a little bit of a lighter hand. This could be a look you could wear to work. And what I like about this in particular is I mixed together the pinks and the purples, and it doesn't look crazy town. I'm going to move you a little bit closer so you can see. It's a little bit dark for me, but I think it's really pretty. So now 3 looks out of this. You saw how they blended. I thought they blended very well. It doesn't really matter what they swatch like. I think really the only area that I have concerns are, again, the ratio of mattes to shimmers. The colors of the shimmers, some of them swatched look incredibly similar, except, you know, one has a lavender reflex and one doesn't. And I would just rather have a little bit more mattes, but points for putting in that very pale color, points for having 2 colorways in here. I think it's an improvement just technically on those things alone from the Sunrise palette, which I also do love. And yeah, I do like it. Pulling you out. So there you have it, another look on the Denona and a couple of thoughts, because I was thinking about it last night after I finished and I had more to say. And again, I hope this will help you decide if this is something that you want to get. It will be in stores February 6th and you can take a look in person, but if you're not near a Sephora, you know, maybe videos like this can help you decide. I hope so. I hope it was helpful. I hope you come back again, and until then, I'm wishing you a great day.